Have you ever leaned in for a hug and felt them pull away? Not out of anger, not fear, just something else, something unspoken, yet it lingers like a scent in the air. I remember a patient once whispered, "My granddaughter winced when I hugged her. She said nothing, but I knew." That moment stayed with her. It stayed with me. Because what if the distance we feel isn't because of who we are, but what our body carries, silently, with age? They never tell you about this in medical school, but after seeing over 3,000 older adults, I've come to understand this isn't about hygiene, it's about chemistry, and you're not alone. Why your skin holds on to odor. Let's begin with something no one wants to say aloud, not because it's shameful, but because it's quietly painful. There comes a moment when you notice they open the window a little too quickly after you leave the room. They shift just slightly when you lean in close, and you wonder, did I do something wrong? You didn't. But your body may be carrying something it no longer knows how to release. You see, in our younger years, the body has a rhythm. It sweats, it breathes, it rinses itself from within. But past 60, that rhythm softens. We sweat less, almost half as much. And while that sounds like a small mercy, it's not. Sweat is the body's silent cleaner. Without it, toxins and waste that once escaped now linger on the skin, like forgetting to rinse the soap out of laundry. That's where bacteria begin their quiet work. They feed on what stays, and slowly the scent arrives. Not all at once, not in waves, just there. And then there's sebum, the oil our skin makes. With age, it transforms. A compound called 2-nonenal increases, subtle, metallic, stale, like warm oil left too long on a pan. It doesn't mean you're dirty. It means your body is aging, faithfully, silently, chemically. Even the mouth changes. After 60, saliva drops by 50%. Less moisture means more bacteria, and more bacteria means a breath you no longer recognize. But here's the truth. This scent doesn't come from neglect. It comes from a body that's adjusting. Still trying, still alive, just needing a different kind of care now. The 3-part ritual that heals confidence. Let's not reach for perfumes. They only whisper over the truth without clearing it. Covering the body's story never heals it. Instead, we return to ritual, simple, repeatable moments that rebuild trust with our own skin. Begin with warmth. Every morning, before food or thought, sip a glass of warm water, not cold, not rushed. Warm, like the kind your grandmother once offered after a bad dream. It wakes your digestion gently, sweeps toxins toward the exit, and starts your skin's renewal from the inside. After a week, many of my patients tell me, my skin feels quieter. I didn't expect that. Neither did their families. Then, go outside, not far, not fast. Just walk in the early sun, before 10 or after 4 when it no longer glares. The light helps reduce odor-causing bacteria on the skin. And the light sweat that follows, that's not mess. It's your body finally letting go of what it's held in too long. I often say, don't walk for fitness. Walk for forgiveness. Forgiveness of all the mornings your body asked for movement, and you didn't know how to answer. Finally, cleanse the forgotten places. Under breasts, between toes, behind the neck, folds beneath the knees. These are where old scent rests. Not because you're unclean, but because time has taught your body to store instead of release. Use warm water, a soft cloth. Not to scrub, but to return. To return to the places that once held baby powder and gentle touch. And now simply ask, will you remember me again? Start with one ritual, just one, and let it feel like an offering, not an obligation. Pause here with me for a moment. Which of those 3 are you already doing? Or which one feels possible just for today? I was still clean, but I smelled old. I showered every day, she told me. Her voice was steady, but her eyes weren't. I used fresh towels. I changed my clothes. I even bought new soap, but my grandson still moved away when I hugged him. She didn't cry because she felt dirty. She cried because she felt erased. It wasn't about scent. It was about presence, about feeling welcome in her own body. That's what few people understand. We associate odor with neglect, But what if it was something else entirely? Something gentler, something biological, something undeserved? Aging doesn't always arrive with warning signs. Sometimes it sneaks in, not through pain, but through quiet shifts, less sweat, different oils, a drier mouth. The chemistry of the body changes, but no one leaves a note on the mirror saying, "Don't worry, this is normal." So we blame ourselves. We try harder. We scrub, we rinse, we isolate. But the scent stays. And slowly, so does the shame. That's when she looked at me and said something I never forgot. I wasn't trying to be young again. I just wanted to feel wanted again. And maybe that's the question no one is asking enough. What if your body isn't failing you? What if it's simply speaking in a new language? One that doesn't need punishment or perfume, but softness, warmth, and a willingness to listen? What if that scent was not a warning, but a whisper? A gentle call from the body saying, "I'm still here. Will you stay with me, even now?" How tomatoes, garlic, and water change you until now. We've spoken of what touches the skin, but let's look inward, where the true scent begins. Because what rises to the surface often starts from within. The foods you eat don't just feed your hunger. They shape your cells. They shift your chemistry. And yes, they can even soften your scent. Let's begin with tomatoes and apples. Red, crisp, simple. But beneath their skin lies a quiet power. Antioxidants. These natural compounds slow the oxidation process inside your body, the very process that creates the fatty acid linked to age-related odor. Garlic may seem like an odd addition. It has its own smell, strong and sharp. But inside your body, garlic does something remarkable. Its compound, allicin, helps break down the internal byproducts that contribute to unpleasant body odor. 1 clove a day may be all it takes. And while we're in the kitchen, consider trading your coffee for barley tea a few mornings a week, not as a punishment, but as a kindness. Coffee and alcohol dry the body, and odor finds comfort in dryness. Warm barley tea, on the other hand, soothes, hydrates, and supports your liver, your body's internal cleaner. Now, let's talk about fiber, brown rice, oats. Even a spoonful in the morning matters. Fiber acts like a soft broom. It sweeps waste out of your gut before it tries to escape through your skin. And one more ritual, small but powerful. Scrape your tongue. 10 seconds. That's all it takes to remove the bacteria behind most bad breath. Pair it with a sugar-free xylitol gum to stimulate saliva. And slowly, your mouth becomes a place of freshness again. The truth is, your body wants to release what no longer serves it. All it needs is your help. What if that smell wasn't your fault? Not a sign of neglect, but a quiet message from the body asking, "Will you care for me differently now?" We're taught to scrub harder, cover more, hide. But aging isn't dirt. It's chemistry. It's memory. It's your body speaking in a softer language. Less sweat, new oils, drier mouth. None of this is failure. It's translation. You weren't wrong. You didn't do anything shameful. You simply changed, and no one told you how to listen. But now, maybe you can. Not with fear, not with judgment, just with warmth and a cloth and 1 glass of warm water in the morning. You are not the problem. You are the one who stayed. And now you begin again. Start with one thing, just one. A glass of warm water, a quiet walk, or the moment you finally clean the back of your neck. Gently, then come back. Tell us what changed, what felt different. Was it your skin, or maybe your breath felt easier? Leave a note below. Someone else may need your ritual to begin theirs. And if there's someone you know who still avoids hugs, or who opens the window without knowing why, send this to them. Because maybe they're not trying to leave you behind. They're just waiting to be invited closer again.